This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. No one answered.
We should return.
Give me a moment. The waiters are at the end of this hallway, right next to the communal bathroom. Give me a moment. The waiters are at the end of this hallway, right next to the...
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? Ooh, not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
Yes, I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens. Yes, does anyone in a city like this?
If there's pain about any particular home she's lost, she's buried it deep, fortified herself against it.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
The inspiration will come to her once hell is set loose on the streets. It's too calm right now.
Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it? I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners.
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness.
They'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place. Fat chance, but you can still do your part to revitalize the neighborhood.
She throws you a conspiratorial glance, then presses her finger to her lips and squints up at the sky, as though straining to hear something in the distance.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air somewhere in Jamrock. But in Martinez, no gunshots, no sirens. The people are languishing in boredom and complacency. This place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring the raucous. You bring the sirens.
哦，那个组成搓背。
我正在研究它这个搓背要怎么触发。
有一说搓背搓下来真的很爽，嘟噜嘟噜就一套下来，当然这个转位掉也是非常快。
不是很清楚，要从天上跳下去。
That's pretty fucked up,
我记得是
even for you,
要从
Pigo.
高处，
I think everyone would rather you didn't. Stop quivering like jello, then you won't get fucked. You're a real sad sack. You know that? Go
可
ahead
能可以
then.
找个大
Art
的
it
过来
up. Just try not to hurt yourself, and no self-portraits.
好说。
Sure, anytime. Us shit artists have to help one another. Besides, I was out of fuel oil anyway.
The right idea is not coming to her. It's excruciating. You know what you've got in that fuel canister you scavenged from your Kanema? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil, paint and a brush. You're ready to do this.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
It was mine. My friends use it from time to time to visit me. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
It does feel like the end of the week. It's so magical. The white falling against the black. Trust me, you do. That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up. One. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body. Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Who knows, detective? It's a mystery. Different, of course. Something so mysterious about the way. Very.
He's barely holding it together.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness.
You have acquired the robe. Keep it, officer.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur la Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. Personally, I think it's a little culturally insensitive, but the material is great. Sadly, the shop is now out of business. That's really all I can tell you about it.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Easy, detective. No need to jump to conclusions.
Because I did it?
He's clearly not a man accustomed to being spoken to in that manner, let alone to being.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities. I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell. I went back inside.
Were you able to see?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
But we are fairly certain the lady driver was present.
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent. Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything. You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have any...
About what time?
All I can say is that it was late. No, I didn't see the corpse until...
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping. I think we have everything we...
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM. The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight. Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. Yes, as I said before, I'm a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the moral intern is...
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution. It is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels, which is essential for maintaining the...
Basically, it makes sure the price...
Précisément. Too much inflation. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below. No. The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing... But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. It's the International Organization for Moralists. Hence, Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies.
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone's bitch. Besides, there are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
But of course, because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values. The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé. Martinez? No. Martinez is something else. Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it... But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Of course, the detective's personal views do not represent...
Ah, my friend. But the lesson of the revolution is that communism does not work. Oh, yes, the big bad coalition crushed the revolution. Are we really so bad for wanting compromise, peace, and prosperity? Unreasonable? Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted? What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries.
Darlings, that can't be an official designation.
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clé's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur-la-Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community. As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur-la-Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions. Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from...
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
About what? Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Whatever you wish, officer. Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more... that it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened. Why? It stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole. It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level. A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident. You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy. It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place? But we were talking about my friend here, not politics. How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night, civil wars lasting for years. Finally, the international community is forced to step in. One of the wonders of democracy is that everyone is allowed to have his own opinion. And not just allowed, encouraged even. Have you ever tried the...
There's a joke here, and you know what it is.
Oh, how wonderful. I've heard it's oodles of fun. Not that.
The lieutenant lets out a long nasal sigh.
Sorry. Who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the art. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal info. He's deeply enmeshed in the study of...
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design? I'm just enjoying the view.
银冠、金冠是
A dead.
Listen.
每一
The
个
baby
怪物
is crying.
最大体
No,
型最小。
listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away. My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you've seen him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
I'm just enjoying the view. Listen.
The baby is
No, this place, but my friend.
a busy...
How did any of us become friends? Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. I'm all ears, officer. A moment. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militia.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space.
The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind. You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer of detritus to the city.
Very poetic. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation? I hear there's a really bad one we are supposed to solve.
The dented yellow meld. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool. As you tap on the gate,
Now,
This is Precinct 57. Not yet. But I was able to convince the database people to sub 57.
in the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a metallic drawer, the pull-out toolbox.
Our tenant, the policeman. Our tenant, the policeman. Me? Now it's your turn, Mr. Quite a handle you got there. Not much. Some things. No.
so
She's not telling you all she knows.
Well, and now,
Those would be the
before you get, I don't know exact of nerd. The old fish, what? Used to be a,
nothing.
and now you know everything there is to. Our tenant, a lullaby, my mother, like I said, is an old children. Just a, this is pretty.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
Over there,
Between here and Jamrock,
an old military. After the war, it was turned. Now the air, the goodwill ran out. Well, and then there's the Lillian is tough. I'm sure you did. Nature keep here.
under carts, boats, she nods, rinsing another piece of. It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call it a day.
good night, officer. We'll meet in.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum. The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside, it is cold and windy, but you're
What is this place to you?
behind the half-built cinder block house at the other end of the village. There are 3 people drinking. Your new crew. You don't need the old crew. Oh no, you have a new crew to get drunk with. You already were a part of their crew once. You can get drunk with them again. You're probably going to hang out there a lot, behind that cinder block house. It's where you belong. Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice.
Look,
An old mirror hangs on the wall. On the table, you see a bowl of. The bed is comforting. bed is comforting, if a bit. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people. And then forgets about.
Hear that? He doesn't even flinch. Iceman doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Blackwater, under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad. We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
In hell, an ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression fixed to your clean-shaven face. It's too late. Like an image on film.
Yes?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope a lullaby my mother used, sir.
That's kind of grim.
Yes, it does. Not much. Some things just...
So...
No,
She's not telling you all she knows. She nods. Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing, making a living. So I asked them to accommodate me. But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer? Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? An installation. Us poor people are stupid and don't get installations. All I see is a heap of trash. This actually calls for a funeral, I think. Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all. Why odd? Our things are a part of our life world. They're made with our human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them as we care about humans. To some extent, at least.
Life world? Someone's been reading up on last century Gotwaldian philosophers. Play it cool now.
Oh yeah? You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June. And where are you going to bury it? Who to invite? What music to play at the wake? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and let nature take care of it.
That's all we have time for right now anyway. Come back here in June and see how you feel about it then. It's not like it's going anywhere. Yes, that is a pity. But for now, let's focus on the things we do get to do. Like the murder investigation.
You like the Capri funeral idea? Hey, her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember? You have the headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for.
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? What about it? Because it's... And I don't have a... You know what? Somewhere...
Only a faint...
There's display... Maybe, but it's oddly close to the... I know. No, I don't.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning. Her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
Great.
The mother of humanism stands above you.